And leaving Black Sabbath and moving over to Curtis Mayfield. It is the 10th nominee for the Hall of Songs from 1970. Move on up.
Just move on up toward your destination. Though you may find from time to time complications.
So this is one of my favorite songs of all time. When we were putting together our 1970 list, I said this was the one that had to be on. This was in my top 5, I'm sure, in the WXPN top, whatever, when I voted for my top 10 last year. When I bought a vinyl record player against my wife's wishes about a decade ago, this Curtis was the first album that I bought to go with it. I love this album. I love this song. The 8 minutes and 8 minutes and 23 seconds, I think, is the album version. And to me, all 8 minutes and 23 seconds of it are essential. So you'll have to take that with a grain of salt as we talk about this. Like I said, this is one of those that I probably can't speak clearly about it only because I love it that much. But to me, it's delightful. Everything about it sounds great. I love the lyrics. I love just the way that he puts this together.
We introduced Mayfield back in the 1963 episode when we nominated It's All Right from The Impressions, which he wrote, of course, and performed. The Impressions kept recording through the mid-60s, releasing hits like I'm So Proud, Keep on Pushing, People Get Ready, and We're a Winner. In 68, Mayfield started his own record label called Curtom Records. And while continuing with The Impressions, he wrote for other artists as well. In 70, Mayfield finally went solo, and his first release is this album, Curtis. And this track is the centerpiece of that one. So we had Isaac Hayes in the last episode with Walk On By, which is a very long soul centerpiece in itself and sort of points the way forward for 70s soul. And that one is much more smoothed out and it's more about vibe. Whereas Move On Up to me is like the sound of a movement. It sounds like Curtis sort of getting people together and saying, here's what we got to do. It is rhythmic. It is fast. It is in the pocket. And it is, just bright and exciting.
Yeah, I mean, to me, this song too, it's like there's two pieces to the song in a way. It's like the album Curtis has so much going on, and it's talking all about the struggles of Black people. It's talking all about all kinds of changes in the country, and there's so many things going on, and some of it is very, very bleak. Some of it is slightly more optimistic, and it goes here and there. And this track, obviously, is Move On Up. It's about making the best of a situation, and your dream is the only scheme, so keep on pushing, right? So it's like, there is this idea that you should get out there and you should sort of, make things better. Standing alone, it sounds terrific. My only sort of critique of it might be that when you just take it out of context from the album, you lose some of the dark side of this. We've talked a lot about, and what I love about some Motown type songs where the song itself it sounds sort of fun, but it's, the lyrics are actually a little bit darker. This is sort of a version of that. It's not quite that, because I think the song itself is really, really a positive song, and it is intentionally a positive song. It's a positive song that's in the context of other tracks that Curtis was releasing at the time that have a little bit more sort of bleakness and a little bit more sort of, overcast to them.
Well, Henry Gibson is playing the congas on this one, and the congas are very vital to this track. It's a great sound. I love the horns as well. They're not perfect, but it sounds like it's a street band. It sounds like it's raw and coming from a gritty place. And I don't know, this is me, but I have an affinity for local news theme songs. Listening to like 6 o'clock news and the theme songs. And this is the era of that frantic, rhythmic congas and horns sort of theme song. And I mean, I grew up in Philadelphia where the theme song for Action News is Move Closer to Your World, which has that very same sort of rhythm. It feels like, there's a connect there between the socio-political sort of vibe that you're getting from this song and the sort of newsy urgency that you get from that news theme song. I think there's something of a connection there. There's a reason why they were using that kind of a song for the theme song for all those news shows. So I don't know. It's a very vital of the moment song, certainly. And that's what Mayfield's about. I mean, he's about songs for that moment. He's about songs for the people for that exact time when they're trying to rebel and fight against corruption.
Yeah, I've never thought about the connection before, but I think one of the things that I might, you know, what I might say there is that I do feel like that in this song, like the congas combined with the horns, which again are not quite perfect. Like as you said, they don't quite. It's like not every note is perfect. It sounds almost like you know, there's sort of like a street band or like a marching band playing. And again, it sort of captures almost a live performance to it. And if anything, maybe there is some sense of that it's like this immediacy, it's this live element to it that does go with the news, right? That it's like we're trying to convey to you that it's not, that it isn't hasn't been pre-rehearsed. It hasn't been that. It's a little bit more sort of, urgent. It's a little bit more sort of uh, live to it. And I don't know. I love that sound. I think it just works perfectly in this song. And like I said, this is just one of my absolute favorites.